providing pseudo foundations for these threats, the Security Council must deal with these threats.
Well, it's interesting because this time the United States is going with the Security Council versus last time for Iraq. They just kind of.
Well, I'm not prepared to draw any parallels, but the last time the United States tried to use the Security Council, I may want to read to you a statement by Ambassador Bolton before the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, whatever, AIPAC, on March 5th. It's not 2-3 years ago. And he said, "It is critical that we use the Council to help mobilize international public opinion. Rest assured, though, we are not relying on the Council as the only tool in our toolbox to address this problem." So he has made the position of the United States rather clear.
Ambassador?
Yes, sir.
You refer repeatedly to the United States, but today Ambassador Denisov of Russia, who supported Iran perhaps in the negotiations, said that he had deep suspicions about Iran's nuclear program. How do you respond?
Well, I think the international community has, and I think review conference after review conference of the Non-Proliferation Treaty, which unfortunately the United States does not want to remember, has said that the IAEA is sole agency that can, in fact, ascertain whether a country's program is exclusively peaceful or not. And we believe that Russia was on the record saying that this issue is for the IAEA to decide, and the Security Council does not have the tools to deal with it. Yes, sir.
Ambassador, the Russian proposal, which was about giving you the facility to enrich uranium in Russia, is it on again, off again? Is it on again? Are you considering that, or it's not on the table?
Well, we have always said that we are prepared to address and to consider any serious proposal, and we have said that specifically with regard to the Russian proposal. I believe there are others who do not want to see proposals and serious middle ground solutions that would ensure the two fundamental concepts that I referred to, that is Iran's rights and at the same time allaying any concerns about non-proliferation, to move forward. And I believe if there was a readiness to deal seriously with those, many proposals, including the Russian proposal, have a chance to be addressed. Yes, sir.
The fact that you were not allowed to speak to the Council, is that an ominous sign for future relationships with the Council, that they issue the presidential statement but do not allow you to express your own position before the Council members?
I think that question should be addressed to the members of the Security Council. We have been told that this was a matter of procedure, but I believe it's a bit more than that.
You've been saying that whoever is in the NPT is being given a different treatment and the people outside are getting away with murder. Now, is there a breaking point where you will decide that you do not belong in NPT anymore?
Well, I stated the position of the Iranian government in a very clear terms, that Iran is committed to non-proliferation and Iran does not want to produce nuclear weapons, and that is a categorical statement enunciated at the highest level by the leader of the Islamic Republic. So that position of principle on nuclear weapons is not changed and will not be changed. Now, the issue is not being a member of the NPT or not. Unfortunately, the yardstick is the relationship with certain countries. The yardstick that is being applied is not being a member of the NPT or not being a member of the NPT or of other international instruments. It's a different yardstick, and it's a sorry statement about the state of international law and the state of international treaties. Yes, sir.
You have stated here and reiterated that you intend to comply with the regime of the NPT. May I assume, or should I assume, that that means you have no actively hostile intent toward Israel or toward any of your other Middle Eastern neighbors?
Well, that has very little to do with the NPT, but Iran made a public declaration that Iran has never threatened nor does it intend to threaten any other member of the United Nations, and we made that statement categorical. In fact, I can tell you that Iran has not waged a war against any country, as I said, in 250 years. Iran is a member of all international regimes. Iran has complied with its obligations under various international instruments. Iran has not threatened any country. Iran does not possess nuclear weapons, nor does it intend to possess them. None of these statements can be made about Israel. So the question must be asked from somebody else and not from me. Yes, ma'am.
You stated that Iran has no ulterior motives as far as the nuclear program is concerned. I just wanted to know, why do you feel Iran is being targeted in this way? Is there another nation that has ulterior motives, and what do you feel they are?
Well, it is rather ridiculous that the single most active instigator of the concern about Iran is Israel, which is not a member of the NPT, is a known possessor of nuclear weapons, has a history of aggression against its neighbors, is in non-compliance with, I don't know how many, Security Council resolutions, and that is the single most active instigator of this facade, this campaign, this charade against Iran at the United Nations and in bilateral relations. And that tells you about what is the underlying problem here. I think I've exhausted your patience as well as your questions. Huh? Not yet. Okay.
All right, so let's move the scenario forward. The Council puts forth a statement, 30 days. The IAEA knocks at your door over the next 30 days. What's going to happen?
Well, we did not adopt this statement. So the question should be asked from those who adopted the statement, that what is the next step that they are envisaging. Iran is very clear. We will exercise our rights. We want to allay any concern about the exclusively peaceful nature of our program. This is our modus operandi. Yes, sir. Last question.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Excellency, there's been widespread speculation that it's not the nuclear program, but the fact that Iran has been talking about opening up an oil burst, also a conversion of selling oil throughout the world in euros. It's been hard to get any further information on that. Are you, at this point, capable of speaking to that issue?
Well, I'm not an expert on that issue, but I believe that the motives behind the attempts to put pressure on Iran are certainly not related to the nuclear issue. They're related to other concerns, and I don't know whether that is one of the concerns. Maybe this question should be best put to those who are pushing it. I'm getting last questions after last question. Yes.
Mr. Ambassador, I just wanted to follow up from a question asked by my colleague. As well as concerns expressed by the United States, it was Russia and China and several other members of the Council that say they have suspicions about Iran's intentions. Can you detail any of the specific steps that Iran will take to allay suspicions from its allies, Russia and China, as well as the 13 other members of the Council?
I think first of all, we need to be realistic. We know what was behind this push in the Security Council, and we all have followed the discussions that have taken place. Russia and China and many others believe that the way to deal with concerns are the IAEA. They insisted on this, and it seems to me that they continue to insist that this issue belongs to the IAEA, and that is what we agree with. Thank you very much for your patience.